So today I want to speak about the creation and magic and the results of magic. I'll see you after these messages. So welcome back. My name's Sage. I'm from Karnak Holistics, where we learn together and we grow together in the sight of God. So today I want to speak about magic. But before I start, could you like, share, and obviously subscribe to the channel? And that would help me to do more videos like this in order to share my content with you. And also, please don't forget that bell in order to let you know when I do my next videos, which come up sometimes twice a week or once a week, depends on the flow. So let me just get into this. I want to speak about magic. And I've seen a lot of videos or a lot of YouTube stuff and speaking to different people when they make references about when they've worked with somebody and they've as a witch, and then they've done like a spell or done some kind of blessing. But they never really talk about what the effect or what the outcome is and things of that nature. And I thought it'd be quite interesting to kind of reflect on that because recently there's been a lot of shifts and changes happening, and I've been called into a lot of different situations where I needed to help. And obviously I won't get into details, but it's just a matter of just doing empowerment spell or one of them. I think for me, let me just make this clear again. I speak from my own experience, and the important thing about what I do is that I don't infringe on anybody's free will, and I don't infringe upon trying to take control of what the law of attraction is doing or the natural laws. If anything, I uphold the laws and support the laws. Everything I do, I meditate on, go straight to source and get the support there in order for it to go ahead. So it's not a matter of I've rejected a lot. I think out of say 10 queries or people asking me, I've probably taken about 6 and reject the other 4. Purely because I want to come from source, and it doesn't mean that I won't help them. I will probably refer them on to friends of mine. So what is the outcome, and why did I trim and I wanted to talk about the effects after? Because when we do a spell, and that's when you put that that word spell, there's all this energy behind that where people think it's dark and manipulation and control. And this is just what I hear. But when you say, whenever I was to say I'll put out the intention, it's the same thing, because when I put out the intention, whether it's using a candle magic or using herbs or using earth or using the wind or whatever source I use, or angels or whatever, it's still a spell. Remember, a spell is a commodity of what it's a intention. In that sense, I'm trying to get the definition. It's an intention. So when you do a spell, it's what you put out there, and it's the intention that's behind it. There is good and there's bad spells, and again, each of them depends on that person's point of view. So, for example, for me, it's like a lot of the work I did do. It's what the powerful thing is when you don't tell somebody you're doing something for them at that particular time, and then you may get a text and or phone call and say, you know what, at this time I felt whatever, and it could be at the time that I'm actually doing the actual work, and that's been happening quite a lot, and that happens a lot with me, especially when I'm removing or banishing spells. So I'm removing dark energies away from somebody. They feel like this uncloaking kind of feeling, and that I feel is important because they don't know, you got all the time of the day, they don't know you're doing or I'm doing that particular tension or that spell at the time. And when it's done, I obviously pass back on what I tell them, what I see, what I saw. You know what? Someone said to me, actually, a range of people said to me, what kind of things do you think it could be? You know, it's like it could be a range of things. It could be somebody's put something on you. It could be for the fact that you picked up an attachment. It could be for the fact that you probably dabbled in something someone's been speaking about against you. There are different ranges of things. Sometimes it could be that it's something from a past life that's coming into this life because you may be doing something in this life which is triggered from the past life. So I think the important thing is to share and to say what and where it came from and what you've done in order to rectify it in order to move forward. And that's what I do. So I identify whether it came from, whether it's been an intention spell towards that person, or whether it's something from a past life, or whether it's something an attachment has picked up. What's key is for the fact is that all these things seem to be coming to that person, and it's a matter of removing it and sending it back to the light. And moving forward. Someone said to me the other day, have you ever had a resistance negative energy? Yeah, they're all going to be resistant. They're all not going to want to move on. But the reality is God has given us dominion over over spirits. So they can't manipulate us, and they use that manipulation as in fear in order for us to, for them to take hold. So when we're living in fear, it's kind of like if you're walking down a road during the day and the lights and it's broad daylight, you're not going to fear, even though there's nobody around, because you know this light. You walk down the road and it's dark and the moon's out, your senses kick in, and that's the fear. So in that sense, that's what I try and say, is for the fact that don't give them the power or that energy in order to enhance your own insecurities in that sense. And again, we're all human. You know, we all have those primeval feelings: fear, fight and flight, control, and for the fact is that we want to have our own life for ourselves. But people are trying to take that. And people say to me, well, is what kind of people will come to me and do the work? So I go, it ranges from the BME background to, you know, people from who are white to Japanese, Chinese. It ranges. It really honestly does. Most of my work is through word of mouth anyway. So it's kind of, you can almost see the trickle effect. And again, as I said, sometimes I don't take on the work. And again, sometimes it's someone's asks me to get involved in, so I do a collaboration and support someone else while they're doing some work. It could be that they're trying to cleanse a house and that person's got the attachment. And I know some people, when I've worked with some people who have a kind of funneled way of looking at spirit and removing spirit, where I look widely and I look down dimensions and I look in this life, past life, aura, chakras. I keep myself open. And first thing I want to do is there's something that when I put out there, is there anything that shouldn't be there? And straight away it's shown to me. It's someone's kind of, you got that radar, and then it's like that beep, beep, and then I'll go, okay, where's it from? And then they would say either dimension, they would say past life, it could be in this life attached to them now. And then I go through these series of questions while not talking to the person, talking to my collective. And as a collective is telling me about these different things, and then we remove these people, this dark energy or this negative energy, it then shifts, that person shifts, because what happens is, say if you've got a car and you've got a nail in a car. Imagine the wheel is you and the nail in the in the actual tire, as it's spinning around, it's going to make that fluck noise, isn't it? And it's going to feel right until I can identify where in the wheel the nail is and removing the nail. That's when you've had to repair. And then you repair the wheel. Then you obviously fix the wheel. Then you put the air back in the wheel, which is putting the confidence back into the person. And then showing them where the nail, and say, look, the nail came from down the road when you went shopping or whatever. So in that sense, is that they kind of know. And then the other things I say is like how you can deal with it after if you come across it again. Sometimes it goes and comes back. Sometimes I punish it off. There's different ranges. So you may also work with somebody and then they may live near their railway track, they may live near water, may live along a ley line. I had that a lot recently. And all these things you need to take into effect before you kind of like give a diagnosis about what this person may be feeling or sensing. From there, I can obviously work and start building and kind of like removing things straight away. And so many people that just go in gang ho and then go, okay, I'm going to just suck the life out of these people. Then I've gone back in and go, well, you know what? They haven't done much of anything. They've brought it in, because when you go into somebody else's life to remove something, like if I was to get involved in someone's life, it's kind of like me going to challenge a bully who's bullying that person. And then if I don't get it right and I disappear, that person's going to be even twice as bad towards them. So the reality is that it's not to discourage you, it's to be aware that you make sure you get the right one to work with you. Normally it's how you feel, think, and when you're with that person. And after, obviously, when I've done stuff and then the work's been done and everyone's happy and they've gone back to their life and they've done bits and pieces, it's important that they continue to meditate and grow through what's going on within themselves, because sometimes they remove this situation and then they just keep continuing down the same path because of where they're at. So basically, when magic goes, when you've dealt with magic and you clear the magic or the negativity, so through your work, as I said, it's important to see what the result is and what the effects were. So if you're getting work done, please do find that out, because it does help. It helps you have clarity as well for yourself. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out, so I'm going to do my next video out and when I'm out and about. So looking forward to that. So I'll see you soon on the next video. Stay blessed, stay safe, and namaste.